I just wanted to make a video response to you. I didn't watch the whole video, but basically I don't care. I'm not. It's just the one point you made. I don't know. Maybe you talk more about it later in the video. I might go back and watch it. You talk about the myth of Asperger's syndrome. And I see where you're coming from. From what I've seen in that video so far, I think I can predict where that video is going. And I see where you're coming from, but the thing is, the way that kids grow up in school today, although it has changed. Right, I've just been talking for about 5 minutes. Well, actually about a minute. And I'm not sure if any of you could hear me. Anyway, you talk about the myth of Asperger's syndrome. And I can just about, I think, predict where the rest of that video was going. I only watched a couple of minutes, but I think that's all I needed to watch to make the point I want to make. You talk about the myth of Asperger's syndrome, and I think I see that you have a good point, to be honest. But also I have to say that although the way kids are in schools today, the way the schools are, and the way kids think and what kids do in recent years has changed significantly over the past 20 years or so, maybe even the last 10. But that doesn't. I don't think the way a child is raised. In fact, it's almost proven that how a child is raised or educated, where and how they were raised, doesn't cause Asperger's. There is no actual. We can't seem to find yet a cause of autism or Asperger's. It's genetic, I can tell you that much, but it has to start somewhere in the families. Surely you'd think it has to have some cause, but apparently not. So you can have two kids that have been to the same school, in the same class, in the same home even. Chances are, if they're in the same home and they're related and one's got it, that there's a high probability that the other's got it as well. I know I have a half brother who also may have autism, and that comes from my father's side. What was I saying? Yeah, you can have two kids that have the basically the same lifestyle, their entire lives, and one can be diagnosed with Asperger's and the other isn't. The way kids are brought up really doesn't have any difference on it whatsoever. You've got Asperger's kids that have been bullied, some that haven't. I was never really bullied. My mum says I was, but it wasn't bullying. It was just I had a short fuse, and my friends took advantage of it. And they were mates. They were friends. Not great ones, but a friend was a friend to me. So, I mean, I'm going to watch the rest of your video, because I'm not sure that I could completely get what you were saying. But I just wanted to say that there and then. For anybody else who's interested, not just yourself, that the way a child is raised has nothing to do with whether or not they have Asperger's.